And if you hear background noise, that's because I have my children with me right now and they're being the way they are. Hello everybody and welcome to Lindsay's Little Library. I'm here today to share with you what I read in the month of May. I completed 6 books in the month of May. 2 of them were audiobooks and 4 of them were physical books. It's pretty average for me. Happy with 6 books, and I think I gave all of them between a 4 and 5-star rating. I really enjoyed every single book that I read, so it was a pretty good reading month for me, I'd say. So the first book I read in May was actually an audiobook. I read Lilac Girls by Martha Hall Kelly. This was recommended, I want to say again, in the What Should I Read Next podcast. I think someone recommended it as a really great audiobook, and I could not agree more. It was a fantastic audiobook. This is about 3 women who survive World War II. One of them ends up going to a concentration camp. One of them is helping with the relief efforts in the United States, and one of them is actually a doctor at one of the concentration camps. So it follows each of these characters throughout the war and then a little bit into the aftermath of it, and it goes through kind of how the 3 are interconnected in the end. Again, very, very good book. I think I appreciated more because it was an audiobook, and I was really able to get the names down and get a vibe for the character. The narrator did a fantastic job doing that book, and I really, really liked it. It's another great collection to my World War II historical fiction books that I read. Next up that I devoured and absolutely devoured in the month of May was A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. This was awesome. This is the 3rd book in the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. That the first book is loosely based around a Beauty and the Beast kind of retelling, centered around Feyre, who lives in the human world and ends up going to hunt an animal. She hunted animals to feed her family, and she ended up killing a wolf that was really a fairy in disguise, and so the fairy Tamlin comes to her in the first book and kind of seeks payment for the dead fairy, and so she ends up having to go and live in the court of the fairies. So it follows her. This is the continuation of her story. I love this book for so many reasons. Sarah J. Maas has an amazing ability to build this awesome world, and you get to learn even more about it in A Court of Wings and Ruins. You get to see some of the other courts that are there, like Autumn Court, which I've been dying to learn more about, and you get a taste of it in there. Summer Court, Dawn Court, Day Court, I believe. It's pretty awesome. I won't go too far into it because if you haven't read A Court of Thorns and Roses, I would spoil things by telling you about this book, but I loved the writing. I loved the battle scenes. I loved the romance in it. I love how she brought so many other characters from the first 2 books back into this book, and we got to learn a little bit more of them, and there's a little bit more of a relationship between Feyre and those other characters. The surreal, for one thing. Oh my gosh. Awesome job. I love this book. Again, I've been thinking about doing a review just on this book alone with some spoilers in it, because I have a lot of different thoughts around the whole entire series, actually. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know, and leave a comment below and let me know, and I can do that for you. So that was the next one. It's a pretty chunky book, so it took me a while to complete, so the fact that I still read 6 books in the month of May is pretty awesome. The next book I read was Too Late by Colleen Hoover, and I read that on my brand new e-reader. For Mother's Day, my kids and my husband got me the Kindle Fire, which I'm loving. This is definitely different, and if you notice, it says it's by C. Hoover, because I did read a little blurb that she wrote on her, I think, Facebook page that kind of warned Colleen Hoover fans that this is not a typical Colleen Hoover book, and man, was she right. Fantastic as always. I love Colleen Hoover. I devoured this book in, I want to say, a weekend. I think I started on Friday night, I was done by Sunday. Fair warning, it gets pretty interesting. There's could be some triggers in there for people who have just some trigger warnings in the book. Definitely look at the warnings out there and be aware. But awesome book, a little different from Colleen Hoover's normal work. If you've never read Colleen Hoover before, I would suggest you don't start with Too Late. Start with something like Ugly Love, or maybe Someday, or They're Losing Hope, something like that, to get a feel for how Colleen Hoover really writes before you go into Too Late. Next book that I read is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I think this is one of the only books on my May TBR that I actually read. The rest of them, they're still up there. We'll see if I get to them. But Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson is a story about two girls. We have Emily and Sloane, they're best friends. Sloane is a little bit introverted, Emily's a little introverted, Sloane's your extrovert, and Sloane kind of disappears right at the beginning of summer, and nobody really knows where she went. Her whole entire family is gone. Emily's not really sure what to do until she gets a letter in the mail from Sloane with a list of 10 things, I believe, she has to do before the end of summer. 13 things she has to do before the end of summer. And it goes through kind of her adventure of completing those 13 things, the friends that she makes along the way, and kind of gets her out of her comfort zone. So really great, awesome summer read, quick read, easy. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was pretty good. The next book I read, well, actually I listened to on audiobook, is Tricky 22 by Janet Ivanovich. This is the Stephanie Plum series. It follows her as a bounty hunter and kind of her mishaps and adventures, and she's got a couple of love interests in mind between Morelli, which is a cop that she's known for a long time, and Ranger, which is another bounty hunter. She has a really funny friend in Lula who just cracks me up. I love these as audiobooks. They go really quick. They make my drive home from work really easy and fun. They're fluff. They're predictable, but they always make me laugh. They always make me smile, and they're just a really great audiobook for you to listen to. And I love the series, and we're 22 books in, and I can't get enough of them. Every time they come out, they're a nice little break in between a series book, especially after I was done listening to Lilac Girls. I needed something a little bit more of a pick-me-up, and so that was perfect for that. The last book I read was actually the book for our book club this month, which I wasn't sure if I was going to get done. And I did, so it was awesome, actually. It's called The Stars Are Fire by Anita Shreve. We'll go with that. I love this cover. Do you see the sparkly stars here? This was a really interesting book. I didn't have huge expectations going into it. I've read a couple of her other books. I believe A Wedding in December I read. There's another one that I was kind of just, I remember they got a little long in the middle and a little boring. I still wanted to know what happened, but I wasn't overly thrilled about those books. And again, when we picked these for book club, I kind of had that same feeling of like, oh, I'm not really sure about this, but I was totally wrong. I really, really enjoyed this book. It is about a woman named Grace. Let me just double check. Grace Holland. And it's the fall of 1947. She lives in Maine with her husband and 2 children. She has a best friend that's kind of super fun and sassy that lives next door. She feels like she's got it all, but there's some little rocky stuff going on with her husband she's not quite sure of. And then a wildfire breaks out, and her husband goes to the front line to help fight the wildfire. She ends up having to go and run and kind of be in the ocean, literally, with her children in the fall where it's really cold outside, to save her family from this fire that just devastates the entire town. She's rescued and is not sure what happened to her husband. There's a little bit of rockiness with their relationship, so she's not sure if he just picked up and left. She's not sure if he's injured. She's not sure if he was killed in the fire. She doesn't know, and she's left with her 2 kids to try to figure out what to do and where to go from there. So really great book. I read this, again, really fast in a matter of like 3 or 4 days. And there's a lot of questions out there kind of that I can't wait to talk to my book club about. I don't want to spoil anything, but again, could do another review. So if you're looking for me to go a little bit deeper into this book, let me know. Leave a comment below and I can do a review just on this book. There's a lot of things out there that had me thinking. So definitely was a shocker that I liked this as much as I did. So that was really great. So that's it. 6 books in the month of May. Not too bad. I'm filming this on May 31st, and I literally get in a car at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning on June 1st, and I drive to the airport to get on a plane and head to New York and go to BookCon. I honestly can't believe I'm going. I've been doing some research and watching some YouTube videos, and I'm a little worried about a couple of things. I'm not a huge crowd person, kind of scared about that. I'm hoping I get some free books. I hope I get some free books that I'm really excited about and really want to read. And I hope I'm not the oldest one there, because everything I'm looking and reading about, this is very much a YA focused one, and based on the authors that are at BookCon, it's very heavy YA focused. So I'm just, I mean, here's me with my 35-year-old self going to BookCon, but you know what? Tickets already bought. We're going. It is going to be a blast. I'm going to hopefully do a vlog or do some sort of recap when I get back and show you and talk to you about how it was, share my feelings, and hopefully share a book haul. We'll see. That's about it. Like, comment, subscribe below, and we will see you next time. Bye! I'm not the only one that was doing some reading in May. I have Riley with me, who is my daughter, and she's got a couple of book recommendations and thoughts on some books that she read in May as well. So what did you read?
I read Cam Jansen, The Mystery of the Dinosaur Bones, and it's
Hold on. This is Cam Jansen, The Mystery of the Dinosaur Bones by David Adler.
And it's really good book, and what basically happens is Cam Jansen and her friend Eric Shelton in her old class goes to the dinosaur museum, and what happens is Cam has been there before, and she has a photographic memory, so it's basically she has a picture, she has like a video, or like a camera in her mind, so she says click, and she remembers stuff. She's been to the museum before, and so she noticed that 3 dinosaur bones were missing in the tail of their bone. And then there's this tour guide that said Cam told the tour guide, and then she just quickly said, no, there's no dinosaur bones missing. So Cam got very suspicious, and she said to Eric, I think I know who stole the dinosaur bones.
Don't give it away though. So what did you think? Was it a good book?
I think it was a really great book.
How many stars out of 5 would you give this book?
5.
Oh, awesome. All right, what's another book that you read?
There's one called The Junior Chapter, Bailey School Kids, and it's very good for younger kids. And it's called Reindeers Do Wear Striped Underwear.
You read a Christmas book in May?
It's not Christmas.
Oh, but it talks about reindeer.
But it's really not about
reindeers.
Okay. So what they go is this Eric, this is Lindsey, this is Melody, and this is Heidi. No, not Heidi. It's Harry, I think. And then
Lindsey, Howie.
Oh, that's Howie.
Eddie and Melody.
And then there is like what it is like they go to the zoo with their class. It's really not a mystery book. It's just like a book, and they say they saw reindeer wearing pajamas, and they said, "Oh no!" Everybody said they were pajamas, but Eddie said they were underwear.
Oh, jeez.
And so the principal yelled at him, and he's trying to figure out. And then he saw all the reindeer sniffling, and then he like, maybe Christmas is ruined. And then it says like, I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but Eddie's like, I have to save Christmas, and then the end of the book.
All right, what did you think of it?
It was a really good book.
How many stars would you give this book?
4.
4 out of 5 stars? Awesome.
It was really nice.
Cool. Good job. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.